Salutations, cuzzos and famos. This is my review of Mother Russia Bleeds for the PS4. I said a punch, I said a kick, I said a throw, a jump kick, a running kick, a running punch, and a special move, and a couple different weapons sprinkled in throughout your journey. What the Pete am I talking about? I'm talking about how brawlers were made and played during their heyday 20 to 25 years ago on systems like the Genesis, Super Nintendo, you silly goose. Games like Streets of Rage and Final Fight were the shit. And I probably beat those simple yet fun games 40 times as a little tyke. And when I saw Mother Russia Bleeds, I was extremely hyped and I couldn't wait to get my hands on this mother bitch of a game. I then pondered, how could this game take the formula of those games and put a current spin on them? I expected upgrade trees, different skins, and combos galore. Because as great as Streets of the Rages were, their formulas of punching and kicking and throwing just didn't age well in today's current state of gaming. In my opinion, games are much more complex than they were 25 years ago, and most people may get bored just throwing them bows and stomping them skulls. Well, to my surprise, Mother Russia Bleeds had none of those current trends we come to expect in current gaming. It instead took that 90s formula and improved it in a way that would make even old Axel from Streets of Rage poo-poo and doo-doo in his tight blue Levi jeans. The biggest improvement in my opinion and success of Mother Russia Bleeds is enemy types. All 9 levels have a vast array of different enemy types. Different strategy is needed to defeat them, and you will need to do more than just spam punch and kick if you want to be successful. I believe every level had 4 to 5 different enemy types, and there was very little reuse of older enemy types in higher levels. I actually love this about the game. Too many current games just recycle enemies and give them stat boosts to be more challenging. Don't expect that in this beauty. Boss fights were also another highlight of this game for me. They were tough and well thought out. On my first playthrough, I started out on the hardcore difficulty, which is the highest in the game, and many of the boss fights took me 20 to 30 minutes to complete, yet the game never resorted to cheap tactics. Well, maybe that asshole with the shield were a bit cheap, but I also took the slowest person in the game, so I'll give Mother Russia Bleeds a pass on that one. The multiplayer in this game is a nice addition as well, yet I was not able to try it with human beings or even my cat. You are able to use bots if you like, but then you have to worry about them hitting you and you hitting them. I just found it a lot easier just to go it alone. This game took me about 7 to 8 hours to beat on the hardest difficulty with Ivan, and we were using the default drug. Along with the story, you can play arena mode, which is basically a horde mode with your scores uploaded, and then you obviously can compare those scores with all the other assholes and losers online. This mode is a fun addition, and you unlock different drugs, which can be used in either of the 2 games. Speaking of drugs, this story is literally all about shooting dope. You shoot dope to get your health back, you shoot dope to use your special move for 10 to 15 seconds, even the enemies shoot dope. This whole game is just a shooting gallery with men dressed as dominatrix and the elderly fucking dirty whores. You know, the standard story you would see in any of those Skylander games. It is also quite violent. There is blood and there is head exploding, and needles are being used throughout. So if mommy doesn't want you playing violent games and you aren't allowed, might I suggest playing Mother Russia Bleeds when she's asleep? If I had to give Mother Russia Bleeds one complaint, it would be that there just isn't enough content for someone like me who beat the game on the hardest difficulty after it's over. As I said, there is an arena mode, which is quite fun, but it never gave me the pull to keep playing again and again like other games have done to me in the past. For $15 on the PlayStation Network, it's safe to say that there are many games out there that you can be playing a lot longer. That being said, I definitely am glad I played this game. It actually did exceed my expectations, and if you were a fan of brawler-type games, this is a game that you should not pass up at all. It is fun, and I don't think anyone that gave it an honest chance would deny that. It's definitely an indie game in every sense of the word, and while it doesn't match the heights of either of the Hotline Miami games or Nuclear Throne, it is unique, and it breathes a life into a genre of games that's recent releases have been far and few between. Mother Russia Bleeds is definitely a quality over quantity game, and it never wears out its welcome. I know I for a fact would love to see some DLC or even a Mother Russia Bleeds too. Finally, if I had to rate this game, I would give it a 73 out of 100, which equals quite good to me. On my big bad list of all-time games I've ever played, I'd rate Mother Russia Bleeds 134 out of a whopping 273. It is just behind Life is Strange and Dirt Rally, and just ahead of Axiom Verge, or however you say it, on that other PS4 indie from last year, and the classic driving Gran Turismo 1 for the PS1. Alright, y'all. I'm gonna skadoodle off into the sunset. I hope you enjoyed my review.